these free throws could be the nail in the coffin if they can make both of them.
AF Adderley Tigers have seen two of these. Whitlock, Slee College, and Dexter, Cambridge. Catholic High Crusaders had a dominant period. Tabernacle had a dominant period. The Hawks High School Hawks and Anthony Hines and Mario Green, they had a period. This could very well be the beginning of a dynasty for the C.I. Gibson Rattlers.
Paulie has been magnificent off the bench, makes the first of 2 free throws. If he makes this one, that could be it. 7-point lead. 14 seconds left. It's going to take a miracle for the Falcons to win this ballgame. Here comes Forbes. And that could be the start of it. No. Basket is no good, but he will get to the line to shoot 3 free throws, and the clock is down to 9 seconds.
Jason Colley has been the sleeper tonight. He's been the dark horse.
He's come up big tonight for the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. That's for sure. Now it's Forbes on the line. They need these free throws desperately. First one is good.
And now Forbes. He's been the strong man for Tabernacle all night long.
Second free throw, no good. And he'll have one more. Down 6. 9 seconds left in the ball game. The second free throw is good. That makes it 57-52, and they're going to try to pressure the inbound pass. And again, Carly gets the ball. He's going to go back to the line. Last time up, he made both free throws, so obviously the kid does not play with fear in his heart.
Carly is not a starter.
That says something, because I think he'll be back again next year. So
absolutely.
Coach Kevin Johnson has got to be, and that free throw is good.
He's an 11th grader. He has another year. He can come back to the big dance again. KJ Johnson has to be proud of his kid, and all of his kids tonight.
His crowd is feeling it. 7 seconds away from a championship for the coach for the C.I. Gibson Rattlers as a missed free throw that time by Carly, but it's a new point. That's going to do it.
C.I. Gibson takes home the crown.
Let the celebrations begin. Here they come. They rush the floor. Coach Kevin KJ Johnson and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers are your Hugh Campbell champions for the second consecutive year. 58-52 your final score. The Tabernacle Baptist Falcons will not be taking the championship back to Grand Bahama.
Think of all that school has been through over its history. They have to determine whether it's going to remain a junior high school, whether it's going to be a high school. In the 80s, they tried to give the school a terrible reputation. There used to be a few fights in and out. They've maintained good grades. They've been able to play good basketball. And these guys in the blue and white tonight carry the reputation of New Providence and the country, basketball and its future on their backs. Congratulations to the Rattlers and Kevin Johnson.
All right, we got Ricardo Lightburn right now trying to get a hold of one of the coaches or the players from the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. They're busy celebrating right now. We'll talk to Ricardo in just a second. Ricardo, actually, while we have a moment, Ricardo, your thoughts on the ball game?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we've seen a very well-played game, especially when the mechanics come as far as the C.I. Gibson Rattlers team is concerned. Coach Johnson, this was a big game for you. You wanted your kids to play tough, play inside, and they really played well for you.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank God for giving us the strength to come out here and play the game of basketball. But we stick with our game plan. We know Tabernacle came in this tournament ranked #1 in the country. Very good basketball team, but we wanted it more, and we got it tonight.
I know also you looked at the condition of the floor. The guys are talking about it slipping and sliding the way they called it, but your kids played very well and adjusted to the conditions tonight.
Yeah, we adjusted. I told them both teams got to play with the floor, so we got to adjust, and we did that. We made some key baskets when we needed to. We rebounded the basketball when we needed to. It was a valid effort from the whole team tonight.
What does it say for winning back-to-back tournaments for you, buddy?
It says well about C.I. Gibson program and what we're doing at C.I. Gibson. We're working very hard down there. Ms. Hall is supporting, the staff is supporting us, and we just want to keep winning at a rich tradition at C.I. Gibson.
I know for one thing, a lot of your players came out and said to you tonight, Coach, we want this one. This is very important to us, and this is what they gave you. They gave you their all. That means a lot for your program.
Yeah, it means a lot. Kevo is a senior. He's getting ready to go to college. D'Amico Moxie is a senior. He's getting ready to go to college. It means a lot to them to leave as Hugh Campbell champions. It means a lot. So hats off to them. They really worked hard tonight.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
There you go, Kevin KJ Johnson, who is in turn the skipper of this team. I'm going to get, first of all, I'll get Armstrong over here. Kevin, you're a senior. You won it. You got it. You can talk a lot about the things that you wanted to achieve and to come back and win it, you're pretty happy about this one.
Yes, sir, because last year, we all know I was in a little bit of problems and I couldn't play. So this year, I just came out, I work hard, my intensity level is very high, and I just want to thank Coach for the hard practices. And then I did this one for Terrence Brown.
From the start of this tournament, you kept your composure. You know exactly what you wanted to do. Even conditions didn't make a difference for you. You know that this was your time to shine, and you wanted this title back.
Yes, sir, because like I said, last year I couldn't play, so this year I just had to come out here and bust and just work hard.
I tell you what, does it feel good, buddy?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Yeah. Kevin. He's having a good one. Anyhow, guys, we're going to get some of the players, see if we can get Moxie and a few others. It's like a madhouse in here. Take it away, Marcellus.
Like we said, an outstanding ball game for Kevin Armstrong. 18 points, 10 boards. What a way to go out as a senior. And I tell you what, it's been an outstanding night here. I know my mother, she's the principal of C.I. Gibson, Lillian Hall. She's very happy. Mom, bring out the champagne. I tell you what, it's been a good night for basketball. C.I. Gibson Rattlers repeating as Hugh Campbell champions. Peter Adley, it's been a pleasure. Ricardo Lightman, thanks for working with me tonight. I tell you what, we're going to go back to the studios. Brad Hanner standing by with your post-game report.
Well, thanks, Marcellus. What a game that was.
That's exciting game from the beginning to the end.
A lot of little problems in between there with the floor, and everybody, I mean, I don't think anybody really had more problems than the fans.
I agree with you 100%, and I think the difference was coaches' adjustments.
Yeah, and it showed. Down the stretch, Tabernacle, there are three major things that I think they got away from, and the free throws, we know killed them.
Free throws.
The floor conditions, and of course that trap did not work for them. They couldn't use it when they really needed to.
I think they didn't trust the trap because they've already formulated in their minds that, you know what, the court is wet, we're going to have problems with the trap. And like I had mentioned to you earlier, if they had put the trap on, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers would have had to make the same kinds of adjustments with attempts going after the ball, and as a result, you probably would have seen a different type of game. So I think the adjustment on behalf of Norris Bain was not as quick as it should have been, and Kevin K.J. Johnson did an excellent job.
And a lot of us are saying the same thing. Boy, what if they had played under the other conditions? Would love to see how that game would have turned out.
It would have been interesting because then Tabernacle would have been able to utilize its strength, and Tabernacle's strength is the full court press, and that makes a difference.
And of course, that's not to shortchange the C.I. Gibson Rattlers by any stretch of the imagination.
An excellent job.
What a team.
An excellent job. And KJ is to be commended. His team came out, they were well prepared, and they stuck to their game plans, they executed, they dominated the inside.
Yeah, what I was going to ask you, what was the one outstanding thing about their performance tonight that stood them apart?
Armstrong. Domination inside. The inside game was simply dominating, and I was pretty much surprised because I thought that Cadero and Anwar and those would have done a much better job on the inside. So you must take your hats off to those guys from the Rattlers. They deserved the win. They played an excellent game, and again, congratulations goes out.
And Coach K.J. Johnson did a good job, a great job, I thought, of just having everyone play a role on the team.
Absolutely. Stuck to the game plan. The kids were disciplined to the point where they say, Coach, you know what? We're going to do exactly what you want us to do.
Maybe the surprise of the C.I. Gibson Rattlers would be Lovato Hepburn.
Absolutely. I think he shocked everyone in the stands tonight. He came off the bench and made a heck of a contribution to that team.
On defense and on offense.
And offense.
Well, let's see if we can pull up some of the highlights for you and go to some of the third quarter action recorded just a while ago for you. And let's see if we can pull back some of those moments. Tabby, you see coming out shooting the free throws, and I mean just throwing up air ball after air ball, and that was one of the things that really pulled them down, especially in the second half.
Two critical points. Missed free throws, and like I said earlier, if you live by the gun, you'll die by the gun. The three-point attempts just didn't do it.
And here we go. Losing the ball, Tabby falling on every possession here early in the third quarter, and back to the free throw line.
Back to the free throw line, and here again, the same story. Missed free throws.
And we go again.
There's a reason why
for him at the line at all.
There's a reason why they call it the charity stripe. It's free.
And you see the Rattlers going right back inside, going right back at that, right in the teeth of the defense for the Tabernacle Falcons. And again,
domination on the board.
But we see Tabby with 5 chances right here on this possession, and they come up empty. And, you know, that will break a coach's heart for sure.
Yep.
And there's the turnover.
Well, clean.
And if you look at the final 8 minutes or so, as we go into the fourth quarter here, some of the highlights, the Rattlers just go inside and attack.
And that's what they did. They dominated the inside of the game,
And
offensively and defensively.
Easy basket on the breakaway there, and even the Rattlers playing a little timid.
Played a little timid, but they played confident.
But Kevin Armstrong came up big for them. And we see this big three-point play right here on the inside. But they were still down, fighting from a double-digit deficit. It was tough for them going into the fourth quarter.
And you know, they could not establish an inside presence with the exceptions of Anwar. And Anwar got off some pretty decent shots. But at the same time, they weren't able to establish that presence.
Look at this play by Kevin Armstrong.
And
right
Armstrong
inside,
goes
strong to the basket.
straight to the basket.
And they did this on 2 consecutive plays.
Over and repeatedly throughout the night.
Well, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers using their game, using their strength, playing inside, playing outside, and of course the floor conditions we know affected both teams. We saw players falling on both sides, and it was very difficult to stay under control in a fast break game for sure.
Absolutely, and you know, you've got to take your hats off to the kids from the Rattlers program. They took their time, they executed, they realized where their strength was at, and they went to it.
We're going to take a break. We're coming back to wrap up our coverage of the Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship, the 23rd edition. It's all over and done with. We're coming back in just a minute. Back to our post-game show for the Hugh Campbell Basketball Championship. The C.I. Gibson Rattlers, your back-to-back champions, and we won't keep it here in the studio very long. We need to go down to the Kendall Isaacs gym where they are making the presentations right now. The ceremony is underway. Let's go down there right now.
Thanks, Brad. We are back here at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium, just moments away from the pre-trophy presentations. Peter Adley, it's an exciting ball game. It was an exciting ball game between these two squads, and I'm sure nobody goes away disappointed, even the Falcons, even though they may have come up short here.
Brilliant effort on the part of the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. They joined an elite crew tonight. Hawksville High School Hawks have been able to win back-to-back. Catholic High Crusaders have done it, and Tabernacle, who they defeated tonight, were able to do it. So C.I. Gibson starting a dynasty. Coach Kevin Johnson, 9 years as a coach, he got good production from all around tonight. Norris Bain, unfortunately, depended too much on the gun of Denial Forbes, Anwar Williams was a surprise off the bench, but he didn't get much play from Seymour, who was effective inside, but basically from his guards, David McPhee and the other crew, they didn't do very well. But an exciting game all around. Congratulations to C.I. Gibson. I've been on the losing end of one of these championships at Hawksville High in '83, and I know how Norris Bain and his Falcons must feel, but they'll have to come back next year and come back tougher.
And speaking of Norris Bain, he's standing by with Ricardo Lightman right now. Norris Bain probably not too happy with losing this game, but I still think he feels pretty proud about the way his team performed.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's been a fun game, and I know for Coach Mal, this is probably not the one you want to talk about, but tell me what goes through your mind after you saw your kids play out here tonight in this championship game.
Well, they were trying hard. They really were. They just had no footing. The court was terrible to play on. And but first of all, congratulations to C.I. Gibson. They played on the same court that we played on. And so not to diminish anything from their victory and their coach and their kids and their celebration, they deserve to celebrate. But my mind is really with Everett now. I don't know how bad he's hurt. And that was a concern of mine long before the game was over. From the first quarter, I told them to close the door. We experienced the same problem in Grand Bahama with the Jack Hayward Gymnasium and the St. George's Gymnasium when it rained. And I said to them in the first quarter, please close the door. That's the only way that moisture will get out. But they refused to close the door. I said, somebody's going to get hurt. But we didn't listen. And now I have to go to the hospital to see how our child is doing.
Let's go to the game itself. I know your kids were trying to adjust to it. It didn't happen, but your program now, you go back to the drawing board. Where does the Tabernacle Academy program go from here, Norris?
Well, we have a good group of younger kids that saw what happened tonight, know what it feels like to lose, know what it feels like to get here and not win it. So hopefully that can burn within them a desire to get better, a desire to finish what they start. They've had a good year, but this has left the taste in their mouth that they need to learn from.
I know from here on there's going to be some things happening as far as your program is concerned, but the bottom line is this: you came through the year, you should be very happy with what your program has achieved in losing only one game at home and 2 games abroad.
Yeah, we've had a great year. I mean, a super year. I'm just sad that we didn't get an opportunity tonight to show the country the kind of basketball that we are capable of playing.
I tell you what, congratulations, Coach, and we'll see you as you get back home. Anyhow, guys, take it away again. Coach Norris Bain going through the motion here tonight.
All right, thanks, Ricardo. Myself, along with Peter Adley, they're getting set for the trophy presentations. We're going to swing it over there and see what's going on as far as giving out the Hugh Campbell Trophy for 2005.
First, we'll deal with the individual categories. For the most steals in this tournament, the young man from QC with a total 4 steals per game, Mr. Nelson Benaby. The most rebounds in this tournament, an average of 10.5s per game, Gabriel Rose. He is from the C.V. Battle Senior High School. The most assists in the tournament, the young man from Jack Hayward, Rashad Nesbitt. He had a total 6 assists per game. The most points scored in the tournament, Kyle Grant. He is from the 8 Mile Rock High School. He averaged a total 17.3 per game. And of course, the most block shots, rounding off the individual categories, the most block shot is Ramon Farrington of the C.V. Battle School. His total, 6 3-points per game. Now, let's go to the slam dunk and the 3-point shootout. First of all, I'd like to ask to come into the picture Mr. Stuart Bowe, the sponsor of the 3-point shootout, and he is the proprietor of the Lions Dance Sporting Barbershop. Please come. And receiving that award will be Philip Smith of C.V. Battle, the winner of the 3-point shootout. Accepting on behalf of the student is Mr. Terman Johnson, the coach of the C.V. Battle High School. I must also say that there's a check donation presented to the athletic department of C.V. Battle on behalf of Mr. Stuart Bowe. Thank you, sir. And the slam dunk contest was won by a young man from the winning championship team, Mr. Kevin Armstrong. Now let's get to the big fellas. The most valuable player in this, the 23rd Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic, is from the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, the champions, Mr. Jason Colley, a total 15 points a game. May I have that trophy, please? No. And now, let's present the champions with their trophy. Let me remind you that this team from New Providence has won 3 of the last Hugh Campbell championships. Please put your hands together. Let's welcome the 205 Hugh Campbell basketball champions, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. And the head coach, Mr. Kevin Johnson. Congratulations, sir. You all get up and help him brace. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing committee, the principal of A.F. Hadley, and everyone who is responsible for making this the greatest tournament over, I say thank you very kindly, and we'll see you again in 206. Thank you. God bless.
So there you have it, Ricardo. The championship trophy is passed over, or I guess rather stayed in the hands of the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. You can see the celebrations going on. So obviously, Rattlers, Coach Kevin Johnson did an excellent job with his squad throughout the year. They didn't the GCCC season is still ongoing, but they weren't considered maybe the top team as far as New Providence-wise. Stephen Bethel was considered that coming in. But obviously, Coach Kevin K.J. Johnson, using that veteran experience, got the job done, able to get his troops together when it mattered the most.
What I do like about the fact is that he got his team prepared to play a tournament. Regular season is one thing, but when you get to the finals is when it all pays off. He got those kids, got in the kids' head. He got them to understand what the big picture was. That one game they lost by technicality as far as the player, that was just behind them. But the bottom line is they had themselves a very, very good play as far as the kids on the floor. And I believe as far as these kids are concerned, they left it here, okay? They had the fans behind them, and they are very happy that they won this year's championship.
You know, Coach Norris Bain talked about the fact that, both teams played under the same conditions here tonight. That's very true. It was the C.I. Gibson Rattlers that were able to make that adjustment, able to overcome that. Unfortunately, we did have a player hurt here tonight. We don't like to see that type of thing happen. Maybe that's an issue they need to address in the future. I would think that the officials coming into this ball game knew tonight would be a crowded situation. Obviously, if you know you're going to play the championship game here, you would think that you would go ahead and check those type of things like the air conditioning system, make sure everything's working and in working order. That did not happen. Obviously, that's going to maybe be something that has to be addressed. But take nothing away from that. We saw an excellent ball game here tonight.
We saw a very good game, and I believe from the spectator standpoint, they got to see the top teams in the country play, which is exactly that should happen when you have this time of year and you get ready to go to February and you close out the basketball season. But there's a twist. The basketball season in the Grand Bahama is over. It's over in Eleuthera and Andros, but it's still going on in New Providence. They still got to go to playoffs, so there's still not more to think about in terms of basketball.
That's right. Kevin Johnson right now has to get his troops down from that high a little bit. They got some more basketball to play. They're going to have to face that CV Bethel team again down the stretch. So, I guess it's a little bit of a situation for him. Obviously they're going to feel like the season's over. I mean, you won the Hugh Campbell championship after all, but you still got more basketball to play. So that's maybe something that the GCCC may want to look at. The private school championship is already over and done with. Everybody else's basketball season is already over and done with. So GCCC may want to start a little bit earlier, maybe get this thing wrapped up in time for the Hugh Campbell tournament.
Well, Peter, I know you said so. It was a game that everybody had to get involved in.
The crowd was not disappointed. They poured into this Kendall Isaacs gym. They got their money's worth. I love to see a non-starter win the most valuable player award.
That's right. We forgot about Jason Colley.
Was a sleeper. He doesn't start. He He gets quality minutes. He's been getting it throughout the season. He showed up tonight in his white headband, and he delivered. And he's the most valuable player of this tournament. Now, Kevin Johnson is wearing a target on his back because
Oh yeah, most definitely.
everybody's after him. And as you said, the championship for New Providence is not yet over, at least for the public schools. But Jason Corley, he can go home tonight and he can celebrate. Kevin Johnson has delivered another championship for New Providence. He has stopped that decade run out of Freeport. Congratulations to the Rattlers.
Well, you know for sure, CB Bethel will be looking. They were hoping to come away with a championship here, but you can bet now they'll be going after that C.I. Gibson Rattlers team. But, you know, that's notwithstanding. Tonight is all about the Hugh Campbell Championship, and right now the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, they have all the bragging rights, guys, and well-deserved, I may add. They had a difficult road. We talked about that earlier, losing their first game with that controversial player, Terrence Brown. You heard Kevin Armstrong saying he was playing for him tonight, wanted to win this championship, especially for him because he knew what it feels like to be denied that chance to play in the tournament. Last year he faced the exact same situation. So I guess tonight was very special for him. He wanted to give Terrence Brown a little something to celebrate. He may not have been on the floor, but he was definitely a part of this team tonight.
Well, he was on the bench and he was there to help us to ball club and to make some things happen positively. The good part about it is for these young people, it means a lot. It means that you are the champion of this tournament, of the Hugh Campbell, the 23rd edition, and they can go around and wear those shirts and hats very proudly as far as what they have done.
All right, it's certainly been a good night here for basketball. Hugh Campbell 2005 is over and done with. The C.I. Gibson Rattlers are your 2005 champions for the second consecutive year. They take home the Hugh Campbell Trophy. On behalf of my co-host, Ricardo Lightman, Peter Adley, it's been a pleasure bringing you basketball action. We're looking forward to seeing you next year. We'll see if the C.I. Gibson Rattlers will be back. But right now, that's it for Hugh Campbell 2005. Thanks again for joining us, everybody.
Congratulations once again to Kevin Johnson and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, back-to-back champions in the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. Everett Charles, we hope he's okay.
Absolutely, our prayers goes out.
And we say congratulations to Jason Colley, man off the bench, the MVP.
Excellent performance, and I endorse what Peter said.
And let me say this, the GSSA regular season continues this week. They get into the playoffs next week. So the only thing that the other teams in the senior boys division can hope for is that the C.I. Gibson Rattlers are tired. We know we're tired, and it's time for us to go, but I'd like to thank you, Kurt, for joining us here at the studios.
It's a pleasure.
We'll see you again. Maybe we'll see you on the sidelines. Who knows? Soon.
It's a pleasure being here.
Good night, everybody, from ZNS Total Sports.